And we are back after just a few days off. It is good to see you guys.
I miss you so much.
I'm struggling a little bit. I was trying to think of how to start the show. I have a bunch of different things. I'm also trying to direct like I was doing last week as well. But then I added a bunch of things. So I can put like on the TV, if people are watching the video feed, I can put our names up. So right now I just everybody was amazed.
You spelled Adonnis right.
Well,
that's the most amazing
after
part.
he got so upset.
But I got Joe wrong. So so that's something that I'll try to get better
I
at.
didn't know there was a silent L in Joel.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So I want to start out with this. I texted Corban this week, as I tend to do, just to make sure.
Because speaking on the phone with him is just too
Are you
brutal.
setting up a call? Scheduling a call with him?
It's better than that, because
I forget.
this is I got from Corban. I'm just going to do a silly voice because I don't have like a Corban voice yet. But hey, Frank.
That sounds exactly like him.
Oh my
Hey, Frank, I'm going to be a guest on the Absolute Geek podcast tonight. Am I good to plug Comic Playground?
And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, why wouldn't you be allowed to do that? And I said, always, man. That's how I talk back to the text. Always, man. I'm very cool. I'm very jazzy.
It's you with the circular
in my
sunglasses.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I am. That's what I'm all about.
Oh, man.
All right. So why would you even have to ask? You're part of the show. And I didn't put this, but I meant man. There's Corban.
Why are you high when you're texting?
Well, because
being
I've never
cool.
been high for real, so I've got to do it in the text world. So there's Corban. LOL, sorry. I thought I'd check. Back to me. We don't want you to. Then I said. Then I thought about it for a while, and this is texted quite a bit later.
Man.
So I don't have it on there because this is just a picture, so I could find it. But so he says, "LOL, sorry, I thought I'd check." Ha ha ha. And then I'm like, I wait maybe 10, 15 minutes. Like, we don't want you to say you're actually on the show. That's kind of embarrassing for us. But you can mention the show. Back from Corban. Okay, cool. So, like, just mention the show as, like, something to check out?
Oh, man. I like
And there are back to me. That was a joke. Of course, mention you're on it. But this will be a great text to talk about on our show for me.
Screenshot.
Man.
Man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my tone changes as we go. But it was just... like your belief, and I'll sell this text back to you for $600.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
I'd do it if I were you.
I have it for $700.
Yeah,
But
he'll do it. He'll do it.
I can't.
So that was a lot of fun, and I'm always looking for something to start the show out that's outside of the comic or superhero realm or Nerdsville. And it still stays in Nerdsville, but it's more appealing to a mass audience, which I find a lot of fun. So that was good. Then, Joe, you and I have been going back and forth a lot. We prep stuff quite a bit.
We do?
Yes. You didn't know that? You want me to text you? Maybe you should. What is happening?
Alternate
yeah. So we get that. You had a really great compliment about me that I love to hear. We might hear about 5 or 6 of these throughout the show, even if they're not real.
I've been making these up as we go.
Go for it.
We've got a message from Zachary. He
Not
said,
this Zachary.
Not this.
I would not be complimenting.
This has got an H
Frank.
in it. He
Zach
said,
Hurry.
Zachary.
Zachary.
Sorry.
He said,
Do you get
Zachary.
mad
I
at
can't
people?
even do a mailbag for you.
No, you don't.
It's a compliment
Not when
for
you
you.
start out with
Yeah. All right, do your little man.
All right. It's about you, apparently. Said he's been listening to, since Frank announced that he was doing this show on the Bob and Tom broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
He said he looks forward to every new show every week, and he wishes he could be on the panel with us.
Tough luck.
Oh my God.
Well,
You know,
I wish I
Or
could
thank
give
you.
him my spot.
Either or.
Can't sit here. Seats taken.
Also, I guess I should put this in. I don't know when a good time to do this, but like
Schedule
plug.
it.
Yeah, not now.
I
Usually
usually
we interrupt
email
Joe.
first.
Is the
Your
right
chance.
decision.
I thought I know. I just let it slide by.
Text me.
I just wanted to thank the Absolute Geek Podcast for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was fun. It was almost 2 hours long. Great conversation. You can find them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Absolute Geek Podcast. They have like over 400 episodes, so
Dope.
you can listen to the one I was on and plenty others.
How much did it cost to get on that spot?
What? It was.
You had to pay your way.
Oh no!
You didn't mention you were on this show, right? Or you did, but you didn't say.
I did, but I didn't. That's the sad thing. I didn't mention I was on the show till just before we were getting ready to record. There, I was like, "Oh yeah, I do a podcast." Oh really? With Frank? I said Frank Caliendo. Wait, what?
How did you end up on this show?
How much
Oh,
did it
you
cost?
just friends with these guys?
First of all, was one of their
Just talking
members
comics.
Scooby Doo?
No, no. I had been listening.
By the way, Adonnis,
He's
your laugh
laughing too
almost
hard.
is Scooby Doo. Like,
I can't do it.
I know you have the talent.
no, they're like a really cool community, and they bring people in and talk. So I was like, I'm like,
What are because I don't listen to anything you do outside of here. What?
okay?
What? So
Sorry.
are they hardcore geek stuff they get into like you like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I mean it's almost like a mix between like getting hardcore and then just spinning out like our conversation, like a quarter of it was like current events, just kind of spun into that. But yeah, they're really into, we did the Captain Marvel, the shows, all of that. And they do that a weekly every Friday at 7:30, all of the hardcore geek world.
Did they like you or were they like us?
They enjoyed having me on. They said, you know, it was a great time. We all had a good time. They said, welcome back. I was like, hey, listen, you know, same, you know.
I'm having trouble with the cameras. I've hit the wrong camera like 3 times. So.
I'm stuttering my way out of this.
Should I just be
Trying to
mouthing
convince
Right
it.
there, you're getting some great Zach reaction. I had one camera, and I've already struggled. I haven't even gotten to the Donny cam yet. So, well, that's
Donnie's
a perfect.
just sharpening
let's
his
move around the
claws.
table. Hey, he is sharpening the claws over there. Adonis, doing well.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, that's a lie. You have a baby. You have a lot going on.
Yes.
Today's topic is going to be Doom Patrol. We're going to be talking about that. Donis didn't get to it this week.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on. And
The baby, moving, all kinds of stuff like that. New position at work, so I didn't really have too much time.
that's all right. He does have and he's going to get hit for it throughout the show. He did prep a bunch of stuff for the second show that we're doing this week, though. He got that all ready. So look, he had time for that,
but not for
Score.
Doom
but
Patrol.
not for
Thanks.
just
not a couple
Thanks,
episodes.
team
Sorry.
player.
All right,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Wait, no, it's good. And Zach,
Hey,
maybe introduce
be here.
yourself like Adonis does.
Yeah.
Freddie Boom Boom
I'm-
Washington style. Hi there.
I've been a fan since I saw the Bob and Tom show. Been really wanted to join this panel.
Look, he's on the panel.
And of course, because Zach has nothing, Donny.
There it is.
Which
there,
is
hi
his
there,
own.
ho
If
there.
you're watching the video, he has his own Donny Cam setup now. It's officially known as Donny Cam, and it's printed on the screen.
He's legit lying down at this point.
Larger than life.
I'm
I'll
feeling
tell
good
you.
now, yeah.
There it is.
Donny, you well, let's just get to it. We're hoping for a rant this week. You took a week off, maybe anger management classes, stepped in, something like that.
Walks
but
by the park.
No, I had a good time, but I could talk about a bad time. Let's get into it. So I went to the Mesa.
yeah,
Beer,
let's get into it.
I went to the Mesa
He's
Beer
the director.
Fest. And
You went where?
the Mesa Beer Fest. It was
Okay.
It was free to get in, which was cool.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because there's this one place that likes to charge you, and they like to serve warm beer, but not this place.
Is this rant actually going to be about the beer fest, or is this like another Renaissance fair?
I don't know.
situation?
You never know where I go. Yeah. I don't even know.
Donny, yeah, neither do you. 100%.
So no, this one was good. They even had a Gotham City comics. So I went in there. It was meh. I like my high end CGC graded comics.
Is that how you pronounce meh?
meh?
M-E-H?
Yep.
Yeah,
Meh.
Solid, man.
kind of
We'll
flirtish.
get some subtitles for the Donny Cam.
But no. But if the really rant though is that barbecue beer fest they have in Chandler or whatever like that. I should have mentioned their name. Oh well, I guess I'm not going to be invited back after this
Mark
one.
that up there with the Phoenix Zoo.
Barbecue beer fest.
So no, it's like you pay $6 for a beer after you already paid $15 to get in. And it says, I like IPAs. I got to drink those really cold. But it's like when I get one, they have already like 5 of them already poured out for you. So they give it to me, and it's like the foam's already went down, condensation's already on the cup, and you're like, oh well, whatever.
What was that?
What's happening to you?
You know,
I don't like
you went to a
beer.
beer fest before this podcast. recorded.
Yeah, you're verbal Rita from Doom Patrol, which we'll get into.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was a rant that your rant didn't seem very rantful.
All right, no, we'll
also
get into
wasn't
it.
fun
We were
facts.
talking before how you
No
you
fact.
usually buy a subscription and you have to cancel it, otherwise they keep billing you.
Yeah.
I was telling the boys, back in the days in the early 2000s.
Wait, the boys. This is at your.
The
this is
cast
your troop.
members, the
Oh,
cast
okay. I thought
members.
this was maybe your troop.
No, the
Frank, it's gonna get a little. It's gonna get a little.
It's more. It's for his
PG.
groupies. Who's calling his
17?
groupies?
It's gonna be. It's
I'm
gonna
glad
be.
you're putting out
It's
the
gonna be
PSA out there.
TVMA.
Yeah. Try and keep it.
it's
try and keep us. Yeah. For
I
our fans.
know I won't try to waste your time.
No. How would you ever do that?
Corbin, why are you always trying to make them hug?
They fell.
No,
I was
it's
try-
supposed to be Juliet set the Spider-Mans up so they're pointing at each other. It's the
like
Spider-Mans.
they
pointing-
fell
So it
over.
is like the meme.
So
Yeah,
it
it is
is.
the meme. It's the
Okay.
3D,
That was smart,
three-dimensional
Juliet.
representation of the
I
meme.
can't. It's just
Corbin.
fall over.
Yeah,
Corbin.
it's good that you
Corbin.
put them for the camera behind the box.
Corbin, stop.
They fell over. I didn't.
Stop.
Okay.
All right, so
Can I get
finish
back?
finish
Yeah.
up the rant
Yes, yes.
because or start the rant. One of the two.
You remember back in
We're
the days?
12 minutes in and we've done nothing.
You remember back in the days when you see the infomercials for the Girls Gone Wild? You're like, yeah, 2 for $20, yeah, and you order it up and you get it, and then next thing you know, next month you're like, why am I getting billed again? Then you get a crappier DVD in the mail, and then you got this long process. Yes, I need to cancel it. What is it? Girls Gone Wild. But yeah, just the headache and hassle of that back then.
You know what? 100% worth it.
Exactly.
Somehow you got a 90s Girls Gone Wild subscription worked into our
He's still
podcast.
paying for Columbia.
I know, 1 cent, right? My butt.
My ab? My ab.
I told you it was gonna get rough.
That was funny though.
All right. Well, Donnie, we
cheers, man,
appreciate your help.
Yeah,
we're
I do what I can.
We're gonna get right into it. Get into Doom Patrol.
God.
Before anybody, before we actually do get into this, had anybody actually prior knowledge of Doom Patrol? Was anybody a little bit, Corbin?
Very slight. At the library workout, we were giving away withdrawn books, and there was a Grant Morrison run of Doom Patrol, I think Volume 1. So I read a little bit of it, and I gave it to my brother. Wasn't really into it too much, so I revisited it when the
I wasn't going to make fun of you, and that was fine.
Yeah, you were.
Glad you did, though.
but
I'm in your head.
yeah, you got some random things.
in your head.
Oh my god!
And we would have gotten away with it.
Is it
if
time
it
for
weren't for that
cheese? No, okay.
crazy deep voiced demon. Like, hey, Scooby Doo.
But segue. I only knew a little bit, so I'm happy to be enlightened.
Okay, well, good. That's
That's
the cue, I
awkward,
guess.
Yeah.
I'll try.
what just happened to your head? That was like that was half Ernie laughing.
Half Flurgan.
I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on with me. I'm sorry.
It's like the American Werewolf
Yeah.
from last week.
American Werewolf and Corbin. Dun 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 dun.
Doom Patrol.
No, that was
No,
You're doing the Warren Zevon?
That was the theme in the background.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, it was Warren Zevon. Is it Zevon or Zevon?
Zavone?
Warren Zevon.
I think this is
I don't
silent
think
N.
he understands. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Zevo.
All right, so
Warren Zevone.
as Joe, who's a tremendous scribe, loves to do, he's going to enlighten us on the history of Doom Patrol. If you are a huge fan and already know all this stuff, watch me destroy it.
Yeah.
If you
Last
don't
week
know-
I messed up like 3 things.
Did you
I
really?
had to apologize on our the group chat.
Really?
Yeah, lots of retractions.
Yeah. Because every time I'd go back to it, I'd skip something. Like I basically said that.
Maybe you should just get it all out at once instead.
Well, I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
But Zach keeps
Novel
stopping you,
thought.
right?
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm
buddy.
so sorry.
No, it's crazy.
No, all right. So Doom Patrol. It's the first appearance was in 1963. It was a DC title named My Great Adventure. It
A DDC title?
A DDD.
A DDC?
A DVD.
A DVD. They didn't even have those yet. They were
Okay,
from-
so
No, it
My
was
Greatest
Laserdisc.
Adventure was a failing comic book, and this is episode. This is number 80. And they were about to cancel it. And they had an adventure anthology, and they were trying to convert it into a superhero format.
So they had an adventure anthology for a failing comic book.
well, no, that's what it was.
Oh, that was...
So they were trying to turn it into a superhero format.
Oh, okay.
So they called.
Sorry, I got
Arnold-
confused with it because you're so clear.
I know, right? So they asked this.
Corban, it's okay to laugh.
They asked Arnold
We're
Drake.
doing this on purpose.
Okay. No.
I'm not. I'm angry.
Okay.
They asked Arnold Drake to
It's
create
so
a
perfect
team
that Hulk is behind
Exactly.
you.
right, that fit both the superhero format and the adventure anthology, and he writes Doom Patrol.
Okay.
So he created the ragtag group of super-powered outcasts.
Very similar to this, by the way.
Exactly.
Ragtag group, adventure,
Superpowered
and
beings.
superpowered being.
It's a good thing we have two episodes tonight.
And we do consider ourselves a failing anthology.
We're definitely
We should retitle this episode "Failing Anthology,"
canceling ourselves.
which sounds like a class that I might have done poorly in. Anthology.
Anthology
Failing-
101.
The
Yeah.
failing.
Failing
Okay.
Anthology 101.
All right. So
Corbin working out the
initially-
jokes out loud. No, just talk over me.
Initially, it was Elastigirl, Negative Man, and Automaton, and then later they named him Robot Man. They were actually called the Legion of the Strange at first.
That's a cool name.
Which I think is a pretty
That's a cool name.
it's a cool name, and it does seem to fit. Legion of the Strange. There's the
Yeah,
article.
the Legion of the Strange.
I like it better than Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol sounds so negative.
But they had Legion
really
of Doom.
does.
Sounds sad. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
You had Doom
I dig
Patrol,
it.
the Legion of Doom. I mean,
but the Legion of Doom is bad,
Okay.
right?
I think they made the right choice here.
I think Doom Patrol is too close to the Legion of Doom. That's why I think the Legion
do
of
you
the
think it's
Strange
too-
just seems a little bit
Also,
cooler.
like the Legion of Doom, except one word is different.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I'm glad
Whatever.
we're getting opinions and the fact stuff, guys.
You're welcome.
So,
Work it.
so here's the initial plot is
Zach gets worried that you're actually mad.
I'm so pissed.
I'm really
He's
trying to
trying to
focus
gauge it.
today.
I couldn't tell
really
last time.
focusing.
I
on
seriously
This is
couldn't tell.
focus?
This is focus.
Okay.
Well, he's looking at me oddly, so that's
I was looking at
creeping
Corbin.
me out.
Trying to
really.
make you
He's
feel.
actually looking at the reflection of Corbin in your pupil.
Oh, weird.
I'm waiting
As
for you to
Zach
become
glowers
deep.
at Joe.
It's going to happen eventually. So the initial plot is a paraplegic genius, Dr. Niles Calder, is the reason that these characters are able to survive. He uses his inventions to keep them alive, and then he's also their mentor and convinces them, even though they're bitter and ostracized, to use their superpowers to benefit mankind. Does that sound like anyone to you, Donny?
Yeah. Benefit mankind, Superman.
That sounds like
Whoa.
No, that
Umbrella
sounded like
Academy.
Frank.
So
Donnie,
a paraplegic genius.
No, I wasn't, honestly.
Oh, man.
Now I get it.
I got, yeah.
My
now I
feelings
get-
are hurt. I listen to everything
I
you
don't
say.
I'm sorry, man.
Donnie, what are you doing over there?
Does anybody else have any idea?
Yeah. I thought.
He's thinking about
I'm
Girls
actually
Gone Wild.
thinking about what I want to talk about on Doom Patrol, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's-
I'm
why
still
don't
thinking
you-
about Girls Gone Wild.
But Donnie,
AOL
listen
Instant
to the
Messenger.
podcast. Be a part.
Yes.
But just be
Sorry.
a part. I'm not scolding you. Don't get sad. But well, maybe get a. Maybe
He's
oh,
going to
get
rant
mad.
against you next
yeah,
week, so be
that's-
careful.
You know what I really don't like? People call
Here we
me
go.
out on not paying attention, and I'm the one who had the biggest laugh of the show so far.
I was signing autographs.
$20 a pop.
All
so
right.
I tossed
so
that.
Xavier.
Yes, I tossed that to you because it's a
Yeah.
basically X-Men completely rips this off. 3 months later, in September 1963, the first X-Men comes out.
Now, okay, the paraplegic genius leading the crew, yes, but the mutants, I don't know. I guess they are kind of mutants, but the mutants have the mutant gene, correct?
I also,
Yes.
I kind of was when randomly down a click hole for Man Thing versus
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing
yeah.
recently, and and found out that like for that kind of a time span of 3 months, they had been planning to publish the issue. So I mean, much more advanced than just 3 months.
Right.
So
I'll get to that too, though.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I feel like there was
eventually.
there was a lot of
Someday.
like
You'll
get
spying, basically, like how it was at that time for different nations and everything like that. But they were doing that in the different corporations.
Yeah,
We never
DC
did
and
that in
Marvel
the
did it
US.
constantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So eventually I'll get there.
Fine.
Tomorrow.
6 issues into the
3 months later.
6 issues into this being Doom Patrol, they actually started calling it Doom Patrol.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Joseph.
Whoa, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Later.
The relation-
Hours later.
I think you did actually make him angry this time.
You want to play with toys?
Still later.
I'll fix them for you, Joe. I'll fix them.
All right. So the relationships between the characters in Doom Patrol were like rocky and all that stuff, which was something pretty new for DC. But
Hold on.
it was
and I
pretty
don't mean,
normal for Marvel.
I know I'm interrupting. Corbin, pay attention. Stop playing with the action
Sorry,
figures.
I was okay.
I know what you were doing.
That's Frank's show.
And this is scolding. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, quit rubbing it in.
okay. All right.
But only if you're not saying that they're action figures.
So
By
those are action figures.
1968, they fall out of popularity. In Doom Patrol 121, they kill off most of the characters and sacrifice while they were sacrificing themselves to save a small Maine fishing town. This is the first time.
Also similar to X-Men, right?
Yeah, I don't know about
Fishing town saving. Yes.
X-Men
This
does
is
that all the time.
This marks the first time that
Constantly.
they kill off all the major characters of a comic book to end the series, which is pretty cool.
a fishing town? It's Sean Connery saying.
What a weird thing to all sacrifice your lives for, too. Like, you
fishing,
didn't do it
in
to save
Maine.
the planet. You didn't do it to save the universe. It was just a small Maine fishing
It's an
town.
offbeat cast. I mean, who
It's a
knows?
group
'Cause
of
they care.
ragtag.
It's because they care.
They
But
care.
they
That's fine.
revamp if they're all dead. I didn't know they all.
No, nobody heard of them from 1968 until this new TV show came
okay.
out.
The question was too.
I'm just gonna skip a lot of this.
No, get it all in.
One of the writers and an editor, when they decided to knock everybody off, did kind of what we do on social media today to revive the series. So in the comic book pages, they actually asked people to write into DC to save the series. I thought that was kind of cool.
Huh.
That's got to be
pretty
one of the
cool.
first time that happened.
That's pretty cool.
So they begged.
Basically, yeah. But it wasn't the original writer because he was actually gone and already working for Marvel.
Well, I thought he sacrificed himself to save
He-
a small fishing town in Maine.
He definitely did that.
Speaking of fishing, any more compliments there for me from somebody?
There weren't any compliments to begin with. I made that one up.
I have no problem with that.
I'll make some more
Don't
up
tell
for
people
next
that.
week.
You don't have to tell people that.
Well, it's a bit.
You can. Makes me feel good about myself.
Well, sometimes we have to do that to
Yeah.
keep you going.
I like it.
I have no idea where I'm at.
It doesn't matter. Just skip down. People get mad.
They
no matter what.
voted to bring it back.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Zach
bring
and
it,
I were
bring it,
Already
bring it
left
back.
Marvel.
Sure.
So later, the writer that
Later.
leaves for Marvel actually openly
The other guys are
accuses
annoyed for you now.
openly accuses someone of stealing his idea for Doom Patrol and ripping it off to make X-Men. He calls out Stan Lee and said someone who was in the pitch meeting, which was months and months before the comic was released, took it over to Marvel, and they probably held that in while Marvel was paying him.
Corporate espionage.
Yeah, I mean, this happened all the time
Comic
between these
espionage.
people
Right. I mean,
constantly.
did you watch the
Everywhere.
toy? Have you guys ever
Okay.
watched the
Love that
Netflix the documentaries, The Toys That Made Us?
No.
It's
No.
amazing. Like they would just steal each other's characters and they'd steal each other's action figures and then put a different head on them. It's amazing. They would take the Fisher Price ones and then give an extra joint on it, so it had a bending knee joint, and now it's GI Joe. That's I mean, and that's what they would do back with these comic books. Is they just add a little something.
GI
Capitalism at its
Joe,
finest.
and then a ripoff GI Joint.
GI joint.
Like
That was
you
a real
said
thing?
You rip,
GI
no,
Jock.
I know what you're doing.
You're making your own toys up now
it was a
in the middle of my
$600.
Forget it. I'm sorry.
Sold.
in 2007, just before he died, he actually took
Thank God we're getting close.
He
to
took
that.
all that stuff back, but it still seems pretty legit to me. I mean, if you read the history, it really does sound like they kind of stole it. There's a failed reboot in 1977. It's a pretty big
I
departure
thought
from
we were
the
in
original.
2007.
He was finishing the
Finishing the
storyline
thought.
for the author.
I mean, there's a process to this, but
We were
it's
so close to the finish line.
pretty gone
and
out the window.
The finish line just moved back.
The 80s version is important to the show, I think.
Okay.
It brought back the original team and parts of the second team and some new ads. The book gets super wild, and it's revealed that Dr. Calder is actually the person who caused all these accidents. to turn the characters into these.
So like Mr. Glass.
Exactly.
Profound.
I have another reference there too that's coming up. And he just hated them because they were narcissistic and spoiled. And you can see that even if you've just watched the first episode. These are unlikable characters. I mean, well, at least Mr.
You find them unlikable?
Well, I mean,
I find them so unlikable that they're lovable.
that's the thing.
yeah.
They're very real. Like they're very tragically flawed characters
Yes.
who end up being dynamic because they've grown as humans as these
Which is
new
rare
things.
for DC. I mean, a lot of their characters are like all powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like a wild departure for them. Marvel
Yeah.
had been doing it for years, but DC hadn't done it yet.
That was essentially
And
the
that's
model.
probably one of the things that made X-Men go where it went, is because they added that in from way back in the day. They may have stole the initial idea, but
They already had the
exactly.
But that just follows. Marvel already had that run with
Doesn't matter.
Spider-Man,
Nobody's
Fantastic
listening.
Four,
Okay, cool.
X-Men, the same run of flawed heroes.
But X-Men also kind of drew a lot of parallels to the civil rights movement
Exactly.
at the time.
Yeah.
As
Exactly.
opposed to just being flawed heroes, they were outcasts.
Yep.
Yeah, you
No
know,
more mutants. No
Yeah.
more.
So
mutants.
he actually in the 80s version, he's plotting to wreak havoc on humanity with these nanobots, and he's using these people just to destroy their lives, basically. The story keeps going from there, but I'm not going to continue. It seems pointless at this point. There are 5 more volumes with different writers
Of your
after
notes?
I was going to say.
No,
the same
of
thing.
Doom Patrol. There are 5 more volumes.
Okay.
And the last volume was written by guess who?
2007.
Grant
Yeah,
Morrison.
very recent. No.
Chris
Right,
Claremont.
it's Umbrella
Come on,
Company.
guys.
Umbrella
Stan Lee.
Company.
Thank you.
Oh, Gerard Way.
Donny. Ding, ding, ding. It's Gerard Way.
Yeah.
He's the latest one. It's really not anything like what we're going
Hold
to
on, let me
watching
give
then.
Donnie his due. Look at him. Wave. All right.
There it is.
you
Did
guys
you
know
steal
that?
that cloth from Doom Patrol, Donnie?
No,
Gerard-
Doom Patrol stole
Oh,
it from
sorry.
Wolverine.
Oh.
What?
Donnie, don't take stuff so personally.
He's
No.
angry.
I wanted to say though, I am happy that Brandon Fraser's in this. I was actually,
Brandon or Brendan?
It's Brandon.
Brandon, isn't it?
No.
Brendan.
Brandon.
Definitely not.
Maybe it was his twin brother Brandon. Anyway,
So the
His
parents
parents were
named
so
him Brandon
confused.
and Brendan.
yeah, like Brenda and Brenda Walsh. No, Brandon Fraser. I'm happy because I was thinking I haven't seen him in so long. I thought, oh man, what's he gonna do in Encino Man 2? Return of Linkovich Chomosky. But
Did you work that one up?
yes, I did.
Linkovich
Oh, I know the listeners are laughing their asses off.
Nailed it.
They're like Linkovich Chomosky. Yeah, I remember Encino Man.
Yeah, I'm just the fact
fired up
that you
right
can
now.
say it 3
Squeeze
times.
the juice.
4 people put that in their time travel movies.
Encino Man?
Back when we did time travel
Oh, really?
movies. Yeah, it's not a time travel movie, but I love that
not a
movie, so
baseball
I
movie
let it go.
Wait, you know what we need is a time travel movie to get to the end of these.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well, let's get right into. Is there any other big thing that I can keep you from noting?
not if you just wait like 2 seconds, which you probably won't.
And we're moving on.
I think that the gist of the new series is going to be a mix between that 80s version that I just talked about and the original version. And I think that Calder is going to end up being the kind of the villain.
So, do you think that the original version was failing because it was ahead of its time, or it just wasn't good?
I just think that people lost interest in stories quickly. I mean, there wasn't a lot of interest in comic books as much as there is
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that's transitioned and like everything seems to be coming from comic
Oh my
books.
gosh.
Well, even
yes.
And if you would've-
X-Men went through a period where they didn't even come out with new issues. And
Yeah,
they
they
were
re-
just reprinting old issues,
They
right?
revamped in 75, the all new X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chris Claremont
Exactly.
started writing for it and it made it a lot better.
But then I would say that Grant Morrison for Doom Patrol was like DC's Chris Claremont
Yeah.
for X-Men, because that run was what kind of put Doom Patrol even back in the eyes of people in general, right?
It's always been kind of a sought after series. People have always like held on to it. The 70s version kind of killed it though, because it just people didn't like it as much. But for some reason, it's always like stayed like just outside of the mainstream. You know, it's always been there.
Well, without getting into any spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet, what did you guys think of Doom Patrol and the DC universe for those of us who were not too busy this week?
I have a page of notes on it. Actually.
The,
Maybe
Give me 1 second.
I don't doubt it. That's the problem. I think there's a reality.
I
Did you use-
definitely thought that as well. I was like,
Oh, there's
sure
a,
there
there's a he would if he could, which is great. There's a duality to it. Like the element, the fact that Joe is so prepared is incredible because it's always ready to fill time. But then I look at how long I really want these episodes to be because we're already 30 minutes in.
Thanks,
and we
Joe.
haven't even got. Yeah, what is the deal?
Well, we did 2 Donny rants, so that was helpful.
That was 2.
Helpful for
It was
what?
almost 3, I think.
I think I'm starting to believe.
I just mean keeping people's interest while I'm
The
boring.
return
I'm
of the
starting to
Sinnoh Man.
believe the listeners and the fans that we aren't really a comic book or comic or nobody listens to this show to get actual information. They just they
just
listen
wanna laugh
and
at
watch
us.
for us to get angry at each
Someone
other.
actually told me that today.
I bet.
They were like, "Oh, I really enjoyed the podcast. Do you guys ever talk about comic books?"
We're more
I
of a
was
playground.
like, "Well, we talk about
I said pop
comics and
culture.
stuff." And he was like, "Yeah, no, it's just funny. I mean, it's funny, but
But yeah,
No.
nobody researches enough. That's
just
what
wanna
they say.
keep interest.
So I'm going to start out with this because I know you guys had said Brendan Fraser a bunch of times, and I should have realized
Brandon.
Brandon,
Brandon
His
Frazier.
twin brother.
his
Frazier.
sister's Brenda."
So I
Fraser
know you guys
Crane.
had said Brendan. Now you guys have me questioning it. God, I know what
How's
it's like
it
to be you
feel?
now.
The
Awesome.
guy, the guy from Cheers, Frasier.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
how could it be? I am a robot now.
Niles.
Oh, for heaven's sake. So the great thing about him is because he is like this heartthrob type of guy, like this driver or something at the beginning. He's a tough guy, cool guy. I shouldn't say heartthrob, but he is like a
Casanova type of guy.
Casanova type and kind of against type. I guess he's not a beautiful person, but it's
He's
so
kind of gross,
right. But you know that he was at one point, right? You,
Yep.
you have to believe, just like Brendan Fraser was,
Right.
And
He's
that's the great thing is you're watching Brendan Fraser going, this guy was George of the Jungle. This guy was in the Biodome, man.
Scrubs.
Yep.
For
The Mummy,
Joe.
right?
Thank you.
know? You're
Thank
welcome.
you for that.
You're welcome.
2 amazing episodes, maybe 3.
What an arc!
Yeah.
Those
Hey,
are better arcs
Heartstrings.
than
Pulled at your heartstrings, that arc.
better.
You remember this arc?
Oh, I remember
it was,
the arc.
It was tragic.
It was
Anyways.
a better arc
Like
than
Doom
in
Patrol.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well,
That's so me. No, what I was gonna say is I love the adultness in it, the cussing. It's just it makes it funny, like watching Deadpool.
Scrubs?
No, Brendan Fraser. He's just a
See,
cussing robot.
You know what's interesting?
kinda funny.
Donnie, because I have kids.
It's not funny.
It's not that it's not funny. It just makes me cringe a little bit because I would love to have my daughter who loves this stuff watch it, and she just can't.
Yeah, it was a bit
Yeah.
HBO-ish.
Yeah, I mean it's
gotcha.
great. I do really like it, and I'm not offended or anything by anything at all like that. But it's one of those things going, I wish I could share this with, cause I'm trying to figure out ways I could edit it and maybe sell it to Corban.
A kid-friendly version. I'll buy it.
$57 for the VHS.
limited
for the
edition
Betamax.
censored.
Oh, for the beta.
extremely limited.
Served
Yeah,
to you in a
it's-
robot.
yeah.
So
they're,
that's the thing that's a little frustrating to me is that I would love to be able to share that with her, and I am actually thinking about ways I could have her watch because I don't care about the gore, and that's not. I don't worry about that. It's more the sex stuff. I don't even worry about the swearing because my wife swears more than they do. So although she gave it up for Lent, and that's actually going pretty decently.
So what is it that? Oh, it's the sex stuff. You said.
Lent
The
is
sex
a
stuff.
thing in tradition in the Catholic.
That's not what I was going after. I was wondering what. So,
So,
you said you're okay with everything, and
yeah,
then
I think
you
they
said
started
The
off with a sex
CGI
joke.
kind of bothered me. I don't know if that took anybody else kind of out of it, but it definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was so good. I
it
didn't
felt like I
notice
was
it.
watching like Hercules in the '90s, kind of like the
Oh my gosh.
Kevin Sorbo style like CGI. Yeah, just. I mean, I thought
What
the
do you-
story was
Let
interesting.
me ask you this: what are you watching it on? Just on a smaller screen?
My computer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't. Did it bother anybody else?
I mean, I watch on my phone. It has the like graphics of I think or like a regular TV show.
Yeah.
Like you look at the CW stuff. I think it's slightly better than that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, like if we're comparing it to like a movie type thing, obviously not. I mean, if I'm comparing it to a TV show, even then, as far as like special effects and everything, yeah, it's
But my thing is, if that came to your attention pretty immediately, because I thought that Pogo from Umbrella Academy was amazing looking. So that was a TV show
Also
as well.
on TV. Yeah.
So
CGI did not take me out of Umbrella Academy at all.
so
Netflix
DC's
versus
also
DC
weird
Universe,
with their
though.
TV
That's
shows.
true.
If
Fair.
you remember,
That's true.
Titans is a lot like it's all dark, like not only in theme, but also I've noticed a lot of the color. Like
Yeah.
even the way that I think the directors have like just the background. It's always like a director type deal. So maybe it's something
And
on
even
that
if
front.
even like earlier seasons of Game of Thrones before it became so big, they actually chose not to do major scenes that were in the books because they didn't have the CGI budget to do it. And I wonder if that
Pretty smart.
kind of is
That is-
playing an element in as well. Just
You
the
know what
budget.
a movie that I love the CGI in, or the effects, Clash of the Titans, the original one.
Yes.
The original one?
Wait a minute.
Wait, is that the football movie?
Wow, you
Claymation?
need some sleep. It was horrific.
No, the football ones. Remember the Titans.
Oh wait, this
man.
wait,
What? Is that a baseball?
You said Clash.
There are so many inside jokes that even take me a second to get on this show.
Yeah.
I thought he said Clash of the Titans. I was thinking the football movie. He meant Remember the Titans.
You
So
are-
Remember
You're
the
always
Clash of the
thinking that.
Titans. It's all about a team that gets together with really bad effects.
Oh,
If you
okay.
build it, they will come.
No, I was gonna say like on The Walking Dead, the show.
We all
in the
just moved
comic
on.
books, Rick Grimes gets his hand chopped off by
Yep.
the governor. They wanted to do that in the show, but then they realized it would just cost too much to keep CGIing his hand being cut off.
They could just move his sleeve up. You don't have to CGI off the
saying
hand.
you
He doesn't
see
have to wear a
Bravo.
green hand the whole time.
Be a Hollywood producer, right there.
Bring your whole
Nailed
cans.
it.
Move that sleeve up.
Like you're doing a trauma movie.
Trauma? Did you
Trauma. They did
Trauma?
Trauma. They did like toxic.
Wait a second.
Crusader.
Is this a Brandon Fraser trauma movie?
Oh my goodness.
I would so
What?
see that. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says.
All right. Listen, you've amazed me beyond belief.
Donnie starts out every sentence with "No, I was gonna say," like he's having a conversation in his head already.
Yeah.
Stop it.
All right.
No, I was gonna say.
Chill out, bro.
I love it.
All right. Any other big? I mean, I can't believe where the show is going.
Well, I think the casting was solid.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
I like
like
it.
every character.
I do too.
I think Diane Guerra is that how you pronounce her last name?
Nobody knows.
I'm gonna butcher it. Sorry.
She doesn't know.
Crazy Jane. Love like
She's excellent.
yeah, exactly. Excellent performances for each personality. I again, I don't see a flaw in literally any of the casts. I mean, I
was
love
actually-
Mr. Nobody. Alan,
I was gonna mention something about Jane. I feel like the character from Split is kind of stolen from her.
You're big into the ripoffs.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about it.
I know. Yeah, I feel like you're just
It's
segueing.
starting to sound like
definitely
between
take
the
it.
whole causing calamities to create superheroes and stealing a character. from
There's
even
a lot
down
going
to
on.
some
Maybe
of,
M. Night Shyamalan stole everything from Doom Patrol.
but on purpose.
Whoa.
on
But
purpose.
on purpose, like it's
he had a
his-
spy in 1963.
No, he used a time machine. Duh.
or he
Who's
read
the
a comic
time
book.
machine?
Part 4 is actually gonna be a Doom
Now
Patrol
Frank's mad
movie.
that I cut him off.
No. I'm just thinking. I think it's a great. It's
I do that
almost
too, I
like
think
it's
sometimes.
it's a microcosm. It's showing what actually did happen. Like he's retelling history with that movie in some ways. Mike, no,
exactly-
Who?
That's
Shy-
exactly
Shyamalan?
what it is.
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah,
How?
I don't know. I'm an expert though.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry.
Wow.
He's
No,
a
I was
comic book historian.
No, I just okay.
All right. Well, we get it. It's a
Great
ripoff.
cast. Great
And
cast.
Before
Yeah.
we get our Mark V, which should have happened about an hour and a half ago,
Have we
is
been here for that long?
yeah, we are literally
Wow.
38
The time has
minutes
flown.
in.
Are we gonna do reactions first?
You keep telling us
yeah,
the time.
We're gonna, yeah, because I'm trying to prep. I'm working on time. Like this whole thing I see as a giant experiment. What you guys can't see is that I'm actually a paraplegic genius and
Leading a team of,
Of ragtag.
goofballs.
It's a bunch of ragtag goofballs.
So
We're ripping him off pretty badly too. Look at the claws.
I know.
right,
Donnie's just reading a magazine right now.
it's the same magazine.
Hey,
It's
Donnie,
the
No,
what
you
same-
year
changed it up.
is that magazine from?
This is 2002, 2001, because this is pretty much right when Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out.
He's read it
he's
40
probably
times already.
just as up to date on Doom Patrol as Adonnis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, but he's back here.
Did you say nobody's perfect? No.
No, he said pitch perfect.
What?
I said
baseball
nobody's-
Thank you for catching that.
You're
Beautiful.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
I try to be you, dog. I'm trying to catch you.
Wasn't there? There was a baseball movie, Fever Pitch.
Fever pitch. That's actually what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Pitch perfect, but the pitch We were both off, but you were off with me.
But we're all in a great place right now.
Yeah, this is
fine.
working.
I feel like this is gonna turn into
is
So
awesome
reactions
working.
to the last Mark 5. Our Mark 5 this week is going to be a bunch about ripoffs because that's the theme from Joe. If you had listened between me,
I tried.
and a few other people
Desperately.
doing what I do, which is stopping him.
What do you do?
So the Mark 5 for the reactions from last week were pretty good. You're saying?
Yeah, there are tons of them. I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly because obviously we're 45
why not?
minutes in.
Yeah, no, 37.
Some people
Oh, I might have
actually
started a little earlier.
Some people actually
I'm
had
gonna talk.
animal. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Like, shut the
That was. I'm sorry.
That was rude.
We should probably do this slowly. Very slowly. I mean, we should probably go maybe 3 episodes on this, I think. Yeah, good. Okay, so some people actually had animal moments, and I thought about skipping them just to bother you.
No, because we didn't get any in the show, so
But I decided to do 3 categories. So
great.
first
You
one,
narrowed it down from 12.
and I had to.
Are they alien, cat,
Wait, you're gonna hear it. I'm gonna say it because I have it written down.
dog?
Yeah,
So the
that
first
doesn't
one is
necessarily mean you're going to say it.
once exactly. That's
I
true.
love your role on the show. now.
Frank.
Remember when we were trying to? You and I were talking about what is this relationship going to be? I think we got it.
You mean
Strong.
like early on when it was we were new.
Yeah.
An innocent.
This is getting weird.
Just like, what are we?
What are
What
we-
do you when you tell your
No, when
parents
you-
about me?
it's-
What do you?
there's
How do you
lots of
explain
Andrea
me?
has a lot of questions. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like Kenny G
you
should
guys
be
are
playing
always
in the
on the
get to the
background.
phone.
thing?
You guys are texting all the time. You don't have time
on,
for your
broski.
child.
Dude,
Um,
I get that all the time.
Adonis, you're killing me.
I'm sorry.
right, it's him. It's his fault. So the first category, ones Frank will hate.
Yeah.
Otherwise known
Just
as
go
ones
through it.
I'll love.
Just go through it. Run through it.
Chris said Salacious be Crumb.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
Muppet. It's a
Love
Muppet.
it.
Salacious
So-
Crumb is a Muppet.
The whole point is Frank is going to hate these.
Yes.
Actually, and
Working.
also I'm going to love them. So Jacob had Goose going to his number 1 from Captain Marvel. And you should hate that because it's not really a cat.
Yeah, right. No, it's played by a cat.
Right, sure, whatever. Tell yourself
I heard
whatever you need to
Salacious
hear.
B. Crumb was also played by a cat.
Yeah.
That's true.
I heard the next episode you're going to be played by a cat.
Jacob also had the blue Velociraptor, and a couple other people had Velociraptors.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the effects in that.
They should have had feathers.
Godzilla. That would have been
Yes,
smart.
they should have.
They should have had
They
feathers.
should have.
Yes.
Do raptors? They have
Oh
feathers?
yes.
Yes. And they evolved.
I'd like
I
to
don't
into
like
birds.
it. I mean, I prefer my Raptors without feathers. If I'm gonna.
And did
have
you
them in a
guys
movie.
time travel to get back to know this for sure?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Good.
That was one of my favorite movies, actually. Time travel movie.
Time travel.
Feather.
It was in the
Field
end
of
credit
Dreams.
scene from Field of Dreams.
You know what?
Yeah.
In
I know.
Forrest Gump,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
the
Baseball
feather,
movie.
That's the feather that comes down.
It's a
Just gonna
velociraptor.
keep throwing that softball.
velociraptor feather. Okay.
All right, Aaron had 2 that I absolutely love because they're not real animals and they're tragically depressing, which Frank also dislikes.
Love that.
So the series finale of Alf, where Alf is captured and the government most likely is going to dissect him.
Awesome. Great.
It
moment.
was so depressing. And the dinosaur series finale, where Earl makes a mistake, causing a nuclear meltdown, and the Ice Age, incidentally killing everyone.
Yeah,
Snap.
which again,
I didn't know they ended
Pretty
Historically accurate.
If,
All right.
if the name Henson is in the credits, probably not real animals.
Okay.
What
Wait.
about Muppet Babies?
He's in the credits.
What about
They're
that?
cartoon Muppets.
That
And they're
ABC
wonderful.
dinosaur sitcom. I used to love.
That's
that.
what
what
he's
he's
talking
talking
about.
about.
Wait,
welcome
that's
to the show.
one?
Welcome.
Corbin
I
and
thought y'all
Donnie
about
falling
the movie.
asleep.
Oh,
No, I'm a little.
no, I was
Corbin.
listening to him say dinosaurs, and I'm
Hold on, I got a theme song. He's Corbin. He's Donny, and neither of them know what's going on.
Do you think Corbin knows?
But we can't replace him with a cat. Wouldn't work.
He wouldn't know. It'd say dog.
It'd have to be a Black Panther.
Anyways. All right, so
There's no retention. They don't pay attention. I just rhymed attention with retention.
I was trying. I got mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
ones that Frank will like. Mr. Bigglesworth from Chris Otina.
Throw me a frickin' bone.
He also said Einstein Copernicus
I love
Oh.
Einsteiny.
and the puppy from John Wick. John
first
said Hosehead from Strange Brew Saves the Day, which I think is an awesome choice.
Okay, it's also Donnie.
And we're going to need a bigger boat from Jaws was one of his moments. Mike said, this is one of my favorites, Indiana Jones.
You had a lot of favorites.
I picked them, I put them on here. They're all my
good.
favorite. We're going to need, no, I missed that. Sorry. Next line. Why did it have to be snakes from Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah.
Great line.
Yeah.
Rats.
My girlfriend Andrea said Jinx from Meet the Parents as her bonus, and then she also said, just to piss me off, I'm sure of it, which I think you're gonna like. She said Will Smith meets the pug in Men in Black.
Oh my god.
It's good. That's
It's a great moment, that pug.
Yeah.
Here's the third one.
Okay.
Joe would know.
Third one is ultimate anti-Frank list.
Great.
This is absolutely genius. Josh Coleman came up with it, and I love him for it. I think he
No
might be
relation.
your arch nemesis.
I really thought there was. Oh,
Number 5 was ducks fly together in the Mighty Ducks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just because
Flying V.
Number 4, Goose Flying V.
do that again, Donny, so I can get it on video.
Flying V.
With your claw.
I'm a face talk. I talk with my.
You talk with
hands.
your face?
I talk with my hands.
Talk with
Not
your
a
claws.
face.
He
Yeah.
faces with his hands.
I FaceTime with my. I claw time.
And you guys wonder why this takes so long. So, number 4, Goose sings Great Balls of Fire, Top Gun. Number 3, Porky's. Porky drops the students into the slop.
Well, you're just using because it's the name of it is Porky's and it's a pig, like from pig. These aren't even close.
First off,
This is
those
why it's
neons are
perfect.
very detailed.
Everybody could be on this show.
Number 2 was
We're all
the
replaceable.
Hound meets the
we're the
Mountain.
People's Show.
Oh my god.
And number 1, I'll Call You Frog from Smokey and the Bandit. I
right,
thought that was diabolical and
People are actually
wonderful.
sending those in.
He sent that to make you mad.
Who did?
Josh Coleman.
Well, Josh, it's working. Because you're so off base that you could be on the show. So this week's
You nailed it, Josh.
Unfollow. Yes. I'm kidding.
Mark 5 this week, top 5 ripoffs, and we are a bit behind, so let's just get to it. I'm going Zach. Zach's, yeah, as I said, I get a little bit of these ahead of time and take a look, and Zach's was at least close.
They're all
Zachary?
ripoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Zachary.
So
right?
I'll start. Keep it with the theme, comic playground. Deadpool, number 5. Do you want me to explain or just move on?
explain. Yeah, no, just leave it.
Yeah, he was
Deadpool.
literally
Drop it like
was
hot.
a copy of a DC character called Deathstroke, and so Deadpool's alter ego name is Wade Wilson, and Deathstroke was Slade Wilson originally. They didn't even try.
Oh, that's right,
to fake
Slade
it.
Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah,
wow.
I forget. I wasn't even thinking of that.
it was
How
so
did I not put those
overtly
together?
stolen.
Yeah, I like that ripoff because they're doing it just to be funny.
It was
By
like
the
11
way,
years
the
apart.
narrator who's also a character in Doom Patrol is very
Mr. Nobody, Alan Shredek.
but he's very Deadpoolish with his sarcasm and cynicism.
Yes.
It has that same element that I really like, but at moments it makes me feel.
Did it bug
like-
you a little bit?
It catches me because it feels a little Ryan Reynolds-y
Right.
the way, but
It was a
I like the
little
show.
too cheap.
But it's at least a British
Yes.
accent, which lets you know that it's not Ryan Reynolds.
yeah,
Right. By the second episode, it
Detective
got away from the silliness of it.
Yeah.
And it
I feel like there was
now
less.
it blends in.
Yeah, it does definitely. Okay,
So number 4 is a restaurant called Cali Burger. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but essentially it's a total ripoff of In-N-Out Burger that was started by a guy who was living in Asia, and he decided to start his burger chain that was completely based off of In-N-Out Burger. And the biggest slap in the face was that when they opened up a U.S. location, they opened it in Southern California just to kind of like thumb in the face of In-N-Out Burger to see if they could get away with it.
well, I shouldn't say this is what I was told in school. That McDonald's would open up, they'd spend millions of dollars to figure out where they were going to build their McDonald's. Millions and millions of dollars on the research and all that kind of stuff. And then Burger King would open across the street and spend no money.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's like that. Like it's similar. If somebody's going to open that for you, that's the trouble when you get into this, especially in the U.S. Like as soon as you get something that starts to hit, somebody figures something else out, copies it, and just competes with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and they can do it for cheaper too
Yeah.
because they don't have that investment. And so, I mean, if you're a company, for example, like Fisher Price, who invests a ton of money in the research of your toys, you test it with children, and you shoot really expensive commercials. Another company just takes that idea, puts it on Amazon for $10 cheaper.
Yep.
And does their manufacturing in another country, and it's done.
You know
for.
who I buy a lot from this brand called China?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I was going to do another one that I was worried I'd be kicked off.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Zachary.
All right, so what do you
Number 3, Facebook.
from
Wait, I thought
It was
MySpace?
ripped off from the Winklevosses.
The Winklevoss.
So just number 5 was based off a comic book then.
Oh yeah, that was the only one. This wasn't a comic book.
No, it didn't have to.
ripoff.
Didn't have
No.
to.
Yeah.
All it had to be was rip-offs, and
Yeah.
we'll get to Adonnis soon, which I don't even understand what his
Adonis,
was.
number 5, a Band-Aid.
Those things at bingo.
You said you rip
Dade.
off.
Just rip it
So
off.
it's
You
down.
rip it
Rip off.
All right. And then,
Number 2, Candy Crush, the game. Very much ripped off from Bejeweled.
so
the game
Bejeweled
that
was
came
first?
before.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bejeweled, and I think there were others that were like almost the exact same thing that were out before that. But
pretty much.
yeah.
It always felt kind of Tetris-y for something. It's just a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Instead of going yeah, never mind.
Yeah, just
Remember
Not
Dr.
very- I mean,
Mario?
lots of different types of puzzle games. Not all of them are just like total rip-offs, right? And then number 1, Ice Ice Baby.
Thank you.
My favorite thing about that was Vanilla Ice's explanation for why it wasn't the same as was it Under Pressure?
Yes.
From Queen and David Bowie,
Yep.
because he was like, mine goes do 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 do, and theirs goes do 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 ding.
The ding is a big.
It's very different. It's not a ripoff.
It's very different.
I stand with the guy
With
who
Vanilla
did
Ice.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
You're
I
right.
thought-
the fact that he defended it was the worst.
I
Yeah.
of it.
thought that theirs was
Show courage.
dung 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 dung, and his was dung 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 dung. tss.
Oh,
He
did I
had the
mess that up?
hi-hat.
Yeah, you went ding.
I'm so sorry.
the
Adonis,
hi-hat.
what were yours? Because you gave me equations. You were like better than and less than.
So okay, so number 5, Entenmann's Hostess donuts were a ripoff of Entenmann's donuts.
Is that real? I feel like Hostess has been around. You don't know.
Can you rip off donuts?
I was
'Cause
gonna say, I mean-
donuts are just
and
a general
Hostess,
concept.
I feel like a cupcake, and
Well,
Entman's
I
more
just added
donut.
burger
Okay,
to mine,
if you
so-
so I'm super involved with the sweets, so I
You know
Believe
what
me.
you know.
Believe it. All right,
He's done the research.
I'll take
clearly.
your word for it. But
it's like
absolutely makes no sense.
Oro Wheat stole bread from Wonder Bread. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's just bread.
No, that's why I wanted to get into it, because that will make Josh Coleman happy.
He's gonna love this.
Now, what's
No
okay,
relation.
Number 4.
I love how you keep plugging.
still not related?
Number 4, Hanna-Barbera ripping off Hanna-Barbera. There are so many iterations of Scooby-Doo that it's not.
You guys are on my side with this stuff, right?
I'm just saying.
Like, you're not even
Okay, how many
let me give the man a
I wish you could get
chance.
a close up of Zach's face when he said Hanna-Barbera, Hanna-Barbera.
because you're waiting for something to actually make sense.
Just scrunched up and contorted.
Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
Barbera.
And Hanna.
They stole from Barbara. Next one, just move on. We're so far behind. We're at 6 hours. We're at the 6-hour mark.
We
Okay.
have no idea why Hanna-Barbera ripped off Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah,
How
I
do you
don't
know?
know. I'd like to
I
know.
just told
You
you.
know why? Because there were so many iterations
Of Scooby-Doo. How many things?
That's
I mean,
not
like
ripping
the-
yourself
The
off. That's
speed
just-
buggy. I mean, you got
Okay,
the
so some
Jabber-
of the characters, they took their own
They
characters.
took their own characters and just ran with it and
But
made
all
other
their
things.
characters.
They just, but yeah,
They still
But I know
ripped
what he's
them
saying
off.
is like he changed. Speed Buggy just changed the clothing
think
on
we need to
Shaggy.
change- Slow it down and
changed the
talk about
super,
this more.
Changed
Yeah.
the
You know what? We'll do it in
side
another
character.
episode.
That's the deep dive.
We'll do it in the second
I'm
episode.
doing to you what you do to me, but in reverse.
No,
I see.
no, 'cause I want to get out of here.
At a decent
Uh,
time.
Joe,
'Cause
stay in your lane.
We're already in the third show.
Oh God. Okay, so Murder Inc. ripped off Rough Riders in the rap game. So Rough Riders was DMX and so on and so forth. Murder Inc. was Ja Rule and those people.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Good one. Great.
Pepsi was a ripoff of Coke.
Okay,
Is that true?
yes?
Now-
yes, because they wanted Coke's formula. But here's the thing:
Pepsi's sweeter and better.
Pepsi. The way you put it on there is Pepsi greater than Coke. Isn't that? Oh, I see what you're doing. Came from. You were doing carrot.
arrow.
Like
Yeah.
it's an arrow came from. Okay, now
that's weird.
Now I got it. I feel better about it. But that's the only one that makes sense so far. Hey, you know who stole from me? Me.
I mean, is it not possible?
I guess.
Very much not possible.
I mean, it's your own.
You can't steal from yourself.
What if I have alternate personalities?
I can feel the heat coming off.
Alternate personalities.
He's emanating anger heat.
All right, what are we at?
Number
Are we at
one. Number one.
Isn't it multiple personalities?
That one.
Yeah, that's the thing to
personalities.
worry about at this point.
My number one was Church's ripoff from Popeyes.
They stole chicken. is what
Did they
you're
actually
saying.
steal the
No, I
recipe?
actually stand with that.
Because this
You
is
do?
kind of like
Very
donuts.
close.
Like,
I mean,
how
they're
do you
both
steal
fighting for
fried
second
chicken?
place to KFC and fried
Basically.
chicken supremacy.
And
So aren't they both a ripoff of KFC?
But their chicken's totally different.
Exactly.
Hold on.
KFC's skin is so
Did
much
they actually
more
try
flavorful.
to steal it? Because this is like donuts. Like fried chicken is a thing.
It's
You
like
can't-
saying a Whopper is the same as a Big Mac. They're both burgers, but come on now.
No, because like there's certain ingredients that go into it, and you're literally
but you
copying
get it
the
different.
ingredients.
But they
so first off, all of them have more than just the 11 herbs and spices from KFC.
Popeyes is last.
12 herbs and spices.
KFC has
what
the
about
herbs
the
and
fact that
spices.
Church's has Admiral
Church's
Sanders?
has the better.
Admiral Sanders.
Admiral Sanders.
Wait, what?
Admiral Sandberg.
He played for the Cubs, I think. It's the
That was
baseball
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
Here we go.
My bonus is the Rorschach is a ripoff of The Question.
I disagree.
The Question came first, 1967.
But a blank-
Rorschach, they do the same thing.
Okay.
They do the same
Yes,
thing.
sir.
They basically wear the same outfit.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
So you
Okay.
disagree, but you guess he's right.
I mean, he talked me into it.
you're
That
so
was pretty
nice.
quick.
All right. One
So
from
nice.
one from Joe, one from Corbin, one from Donny en route.
All right. I'm
know
going
the
to go with Batman rips off Zorro.
Ooh.
Batman from the Fox.
Yep. Millionaire playboys with secret caves underneath their mansions where they hide their secret vigilante identities. Zorro had a butler. He was the first one to do it.
You know what? I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
This is really good. Finally, four episodes since there's been one that worked. And thank you.
In Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, his origin story for Batman, they're going to see Zorro, Mask of Zorro.
Oh, really?
He's like pays homage to it
That was awesome.
because it's such a blatant ripoff.
Yeah. Smart. Frank Miller was good back then.
So blatant that none of us knew about it until now.
It's on like
Yeah.
most lists.
It
If
depends on
you,
your-
if you look this specific thing up, it'll be on most lists.
Corbin,
Oh, well, I had okay.
two. You can do two if you can do them quickly.
Okay, so Marvel and DC storylines. Marvel's Age of Ultron versus DC's Futures End. Both franchises had their world wrecked by zombies and then taken over by killer robots. That was one. And the other one was DC's Kingdom Come. And Marvel ripped that off by using Marvel's Earth X. And Alex Ross was actually kind of behind both, but it was both like a dystopian future about aging classic superheroes. And they're replaced by a violent new generation of other super beings. So I thought that those storylines being ripped off each other in the span of like less than 5 years for both was interesting.
Donnie, what do you got?
Since these two DC now have TV shows, I thought of their ripoff. So
You're getting further and further from the mic.
Okay, sorry. So the Flash, Quicksilver, obviously Marvel ripped him off with Quicksilver, and then Green Arrow, Marvel ripped him off with Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah,
But there are only so many things. Like Hawkeye and Green Arrow, I kind of get because who's out there using a bow and arrow? It's
They're
not
really valuable in today's time period.
Yeah. But in terms of what are the superpowers you're going to have? You're going to have speed. You're going to have strength. I feel like
There's a limit.
it's like donuts or chicken or burgers.
Well, like
Like
How many
you're
new
only-
ideas can there be?
or like the Atom and Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
And which, by the way, Marvel, I mean, again, with the comic stuff and everything, I get that it synced up due to like other circumstances. But Marvel's came out like less than a couple months after the Atom did.
The timing is always
And so
weird.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The timing's weird on that, but at the same time, like, look at it. Just look at it.
All right, let's hit the polls.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds hilarious. I don't know why.
Okay.
Adonnis stirred the pot with his hot take on his favorite Spidey, Andrew Garfield. Also my favorite, by the way. But Garfield got crushed hard, even after us pleading mercy for him. Holland won over Garfield by 8. It was 871 to 203. Really
Wow.
The current poll is a continuation for the best Spider-Man. It pits Holland against Maguire. I'm a little surprised by this, actually. Maguire's losing. I did not see that coming, to be
I'm
honest.
shocked.
1-800 for your childhood, guys. Let's put Tom McGuire back up there.
1-800 for your
please.
childhood. I don't think that
Corbin
fits
is-
into the 8
Corbin
digits.
is begging
Or
for
7
votes
digits.
like Adonis and I did.
Please.
Right now, Toby has 480 and Holland has 645. So it's a lot closer than the last
Yeah.
one.
We can still get it, guys. Come on.
It can still happen.
go, y'all.
There's a couple more days, so get on there and vote if you are the Sam Raimi Spider-Man fan. The next poll is going to be interesting. We're going to do best Batmans.
Okay.
And we're going to roll that off of a video that we're going to put out on Friday of Corban trying to peddle who he believes is the best Batman.
Don't laugh.
And I don't want to spoil it, but it's not right.
Which is perfect for Corban. All right, we had about 600 other things that we were going to do today, mostly because Joe just takes way too long with the history. We didn't get to them.
I'll take it.
Come on,
So-
Joe.
We only got to volume
We're
3.
actually going to put those in the later episode this week, including an unboxing from Corban. We'll get that in right away, so we make sure we do. We've got Game Changers.
Yes.
Coming from Adonnis. You had something you talked about. Somebody was still upset about Wonder Woman.
Well, not upset. She
Not
just
upset, just-
she wanted us to talk about Wonder Woman because we haven't really yet. So I'm just going to do a quick update on what's going on with
Okay,
the
we'll
new
do that
movie.
in the next episode.
History.
And history. Yes, this week and a half or month in history.
Geek history. I'm nailing
history.
it down. It's getting better.
Yeah. Perfect. Nailing it.
Can you call it this geek in history?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
good.
Whoa.
So good.
I wish I had thought of that. Yes.
I wish you had too. It would have gone
This
quicker.
is
Follow us on the various forms of social media
At Comic Playground everywhere.
and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Tell people about us. Let us know. Donnie, you bring
Give us
home.
5-star reviews too.
Bring us home.
No, man. Keep collecting comics. You never know what's going to be worth money out there.
There we
Thanks.
go.
Is that how
Snake
we were
eyes.
supposed to do it?
No, but
Wasn't there a thing?
I don't know. I'm just putting the title screen back on.